Is everything around us real, or are we just part of an elaborate illusion? Welcome to the world of Maya, a Sanskrit word that means illusion, a concept that questions the very fabric of what we call reality. From ancient philosophy to cutting edge quantum physics, the idea that reality is not what it seems has fascinated thinkers for centuries. Today, let's dive deep into this mystery and discover how quantum mechanics, of all things, might support the idea that our world is not as solid or as objective as we think. In Indian philosophy, Maya refers to the illusion that the physical world is the only reality. The sages believed that the universe that we perceive, with its forms, objects, is just a projection. Behind it lies something more fundamental, something real, eternal, and unchanging, often called Brahman. Maya is not deception, it's the lens through which we see the world, shaped by our senses, mind, and limited understanding. Now let's shift from ancient philosophy to modern science, specifically quantum mechanics, the field that revolutionized our understanding of reality. And surprisingly, it aligns with the idea that what we see may not be all there is. Here is where it gets fascinating. At the quantum level, particles like photons or electrons don't behave like tiny solid balls. Instead, they exist as waves of probabilities, not at one place, but in many potential places all at once. This is called superposition. One of the most famous experiments that reveals this is the double-slit experiment.
When a laser emits beams of light particles called photons at a screen with two slits, you'd expect to see two strips to correspond with the two slits. Instead, we see a pattern of light and dark bands. This suggests that light behaves like waves that pass through both slits simultaneously, interfering with each other to create the pattern on the second screen. However, when scientists used a measuring device to observe the slit that each photon passed through, the interference pattern disappeared and two strips appeared. The act of observing which slit it went through changed the behavior of the photons. No one knows why observing a particle causes its behavior to change.
This is not just a weird lab trick, it's a profound truth. At a fundamental level, particles, which is the building blocks of matter, which everything around us is made of, do not have definitive properties until they are observed. Until then, they exist in multiple states. Think about it for a second. Reality at its core is not fixed, it's fluid, probabilistic, and undefined until consciousness interacts with it. In a way, this echoes the idea of Maya. What we see as solid and real is shaped by our perception. Without an observer, the universe might be a fuzzy cloud of possibilities, not a concrete structure. Some physicists and philosophers go a step further. They suggest that consciousness plays a role in collapsing the wave function, turning possibility into reality. Could it be that our minds help shape the world we live in? That what we call reality is just one version among many, brought into being by observation. This does not mean we are dreaming, but it does mean what we experience as real may heavily depend on perception, perspective, and participation. So, is reality an illusion? Science does not give a definitive yes or no, but quantum mechanics shows us that what we thought was solid and objective is far more mysterious. Maya may not be a poetic metaphor, but a profound truth about how our universe works. As we stand between ancient wisdom and modern science, one thing becomes clear. Reality is not as straightforward as it seems. Or maybe what we call the real world is only the beginning of something more mysterious, far deeper.